Howdy, PT37 here. Today I want to talk about some accuracy testing I did out of my Ruger Gen 2 American Standard, however you say it. Mouthful. But anyway, it's just a 223 rifle. I got a Nikon Buckmaster 4-12 optic on there. I got a muzzle brake for my Rugged Surge 7.62 silencer. Got the silencer off of there right now, but just got the muzzle brake on there for the quick attach. But I loaded up 5 different bullets I had laying around to test. I did the Hornady 45 grain Hornet. I did a Sierra 50 grain semi-pointed. And I did a Sierra 55 grain Game King. And a Sierra 63 grain semi-point. And then a Speer 70 grain semi-Spitzer. So my grandpa gave me a bunch of these bullets he had for years, so I just had them laying around, wasn't doing nothing with them, and I thought, well, I'll just load them all up, see if it's got a preference on bullet type or weight, and if it likes any of these. As far as I know, they're all still in production, so I just thought I'd buy some more if it liked any of them. What I did is I took the same brass, same primer, and same powder. I'd use Varget powder for all these. I just did a grain off the max on every one of them. So that way I had a pretty good consistent, everything else was consistent. Really the only thing that changed was the bullet. I mean, obviously the charge weights were different, but it was the same off of the max on each one of them, and it was the same powder, so it should be pretty comparable. But so here's the groups. I was pretty happy. It shot pretty good all across the board. So I'll start with the 45 grain Hornet. It's kind of an oddball bullet. I think it's made more for the 22 Hornet. So the load data is a little wonky for it. So the group was 0.966 inches. Not bad. Definitely okay with that. And then the 50 grain Sierra Spire Point, or whatever it is, was a 0.888 inch group. So that's pretty good. And then the best group I shot was a 55 grain Sierra Game King, and it was 0.653 inches. And in the 63 grain Sierra, it was 1.163, but I made a note, that was my first shot, and I'm pretty sure I pulled it. It didn't feel right when I pulled the trigger, and then I seen my other two went really close to each other in a different spot. So I'm pretty sure I pulled that. I would like to try that again, just to make sure it wasn't me. But it is what it is right now. That's all I had. I didn't have any more loaded at the time. But it for sure did not like the 70 grain. Almost a 2-inch group. Yeah, that's terrible. So don't mind these other bullet holes. I shot a couple other things when I was doing this. Overall, though, I'm happy with the 45, 50, and 55 grain loads. No more difference than there is in them. I could have just had better trigger presses on this one compared to these two. So, I mean, I think I want to work with this first and just make sure that it's shooting good, make sure that that's not a fluke or anything. So I'll probably load up some more at that charge, and I'll go up and down and so forth and see if I can't get that narrowed down, see if that's better. But I also have plenty of factory loads to try out too. So I think I have like 5 factory loads to try out. So for this rifle, I shot the heavier grain bullets just because I had them laying around, but I primarily want to stick with 55 grain and less, just so I get a little bit more velocity out of it. This is going to be my varmint gun, something I may just have in the truck with me, so if I see like a crow or a coyote or armadillo, whatever, then it'll be reasonably flat shooting. I won't have to worry about holding over too much and all that stuff. And also just a cheap plinker. So typically the 55 grain and under bullets tend to be pretty cheap too to load and shoot. So that is my purpose with this rifle. And it's also worth noting, this is the first testing I've done out of it. But when I first got it, I shot some Fiocchi 55 grain full metal jacket just to kind of sight it in. And it shot like a 0.8 inch group with that ammo. So it doesn't really seem to be that picky. I think the 63 grain ammo would have been under an inch if I wouldn't pulled that shot. I don't think 70, I think 70 just did not like that. I don't think I shot that bad. But my table I was shooting on did have just ever so slightly amount of wiggle. Like it wasn't like a concrete shooting bench. So the groups could have been a little bit better. Could have been a little bit of me. But just the fact I shot 3 groups under an inch with that, though, was very promising in my mind. So I just thought that this would be a good video to kind of give you guys an update on this, something that I'm working on here and there. And if you guys are thinking about buying one, I don't have any reservations about recommending it. It's, I mean, I plan on doing a full review on it down the road, but I just thought this accuracy update would be a good video that you guys might enjoy and get some usefulness out of. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and God bless you. Okay, now the 45 grain mode. Of course, there's an error.